Hi friends, I'm Sapna Aggarwal, Creative Director at Ansa Interiors, and in my design discussion series, today we are with the topic of 10 easy steps you need to follow when choosing an interior designer. Choosing an interior designer is about the same as choosing a doctor. You will spend more than a month together or even a couple of years if the project is really large, and the designer learns a lot of facts about you, including your personal ones. From who you work with and ending up actually how you have your own home, whom you talk to, what you take to your washroom, even your personal things your designer will know. And he or she will also be aware of your financial affairs. Therefore, it is very, very important to find a professional designer and your own person with whom you will be comfortable working with and communicating. In the post today, I will tell you about 10 easy steps that you need to follow when choosing an interior designer. Keep listening. So first, calculate the budget. This is just the first step. Know that the cost of design services varies depending on the city experience and the degree of popularity. Most of all, this parameter also depends on the repair estimate. Set aside almost 5 to 10% of the total budget of the design project. So before reaching or searching for a designer, make an approximate budget, which includes the following items like the building material, finishing, coating, communications, tools and equipment, services and repairs, and employees that you'll be hiring, furniture, decor. And reserve the 10% of the value for other items. Without such prior information, the search for a designer can take really a long time. Second, start your search in advance. The design project can be completed in a few weeks or months depending on the project. The sooner the designer takes the measurement and begins to develop an interior design, the faster you will get the result. But here we recommend that you set aside at least 8 to 12 weeks to develop and agree on the planning decisions, and you start looking for a competent designer months before your construction actually begins. Actually the construction happens. If you want to decorate an apartment in a new building, the designer should be selected at a stage of a construction of a new building. Thirdly, decide on the style of interiors. Before selecting a candidate, it is always better to determine how you want to see the apartment or your house or your hotel. Imagine what you would be, like from the interior. What do you want from your interior designer? So a Provence or a French style, classical or modern trends, changing electricism or advanced high tech. Pick up your photos that illustrate your vision and be sure to bring them to the meeting with the designer. Make a personal list of wishes for the interiors, describing in detail each of the rooms. You should decide what kind of finishing you like, your color combinations, your furniture elements that will come in. This actually will help you compile a well thought out design project, which includes stylist and planning solutions for an interior and a set of technical drawings for obvious reasons. Fourthly, select a candidate. Start your search for an interior designer by interviewing your acquaintances and friends. Personal recommendation with details and evaluations of work are always more valuable than online reviews. In addition, you can directly inspect the interior of which the designer worked on during the visit. With that, you can always look for the top interior designer profiles on the internet. But here, it is very important to search the internet correctly. For instance, you can use queries such as search within the city, apartment design in, say, Delhi, house design in Mumbai. Search by type of real estate, penthouse or penthouse interior design. Also search by the style, like design of a style of an interior design. probably something like neoclassical interiors or French interiors, it is better to look through the picture tab, where you can find real works of the designer, and there is a contact information available too. So be sure to save your favorite works to show these are the designer you want to meet later on. Fifthly, I think it's very, very important to examine the portfolio of the designer. Write down the authors or name of the agencies you like. Look for other projects. As a rule, they are collected on the site in a portfolio section or probably in their project section. Evaluate with meticulous attention to the detail, ergonomics of the premises, the furniture location, the ability to combine the colors, processed visualization, drawings, and then optimally, if the designer or studio already has several works of interior designer you like, you should pay attention to already implemented work interiors, like real photos rather than those beautiful 3D visuals. This will also show the ability of a designer to turn your ideas into the reality. So pay attention actually to the validity of the portfolio. There are very, very fake portfolios also available. You should also consist that the works from internet is not their portfolio. So just to check, just search for pictures in the search engine. Sixth very important point is read the reviews. Many designers maintain their professional profiles on social networks, talking about the nuances of working, answering questions, posting reviews. This is another opportunity to evaluate a specialist. Looking for reviews of an interior design or real estate selection firms, and ask questions about a particular designer or a studio. There is a real chance that there will be customers who have used their services and can share their experiences. Seventh, compare the candidate before the first meeting. Completing all the previous steps that I have described, you may now have a list of several designers and studios. The next step is to compare their services and the nuances of their work. Call or write to the selected applicants to request for more details, like their portfolios. You can call for their prices, sample terms, or even their references. The latter, references, is especially very important because the technical task of the design project is an opportunity for the owner to actually fantasize about the future of interior of his own home. So you will see how others did it, and compare them with the specification of other designers and studio. So this is like an official document. This is attached to the main contract for the provision of services. So give designers initial information about your project. This includes the type of property, the type of style, an apartment or a countryside villa, the area, location, timing, project time. Everything has to be included when you are conversing with the designer. How the dialogue between you and designer is built up, can be judged on candidate's responsibility, adequacy, communication skills also. So somehow drawing up a quality design project requires a lot of communication between the customer and the contractor also. So it is very important to find a common language. In comparison, the key areas that you should pay attention to are cost, experience, terms of realization, communication skills, readiness to sign a contract. Very, very important. If they are ready to perform the supervision, that is like the backbone. The supervision is like a backbone to any interior design implementation. So in addition to the factors that I have mentioned above, you can also evaluate a candidate based on your own criteria that you may have in your mind. And once evaluated, select a few candidates who are at least suitable for implementing your interior and move to a personal meeting. I think 8th most important step before you finalize a designer is meet the designer in person. talk to several candidates in person, in a cafe or their office. The best is to visit their office, or at a facility under renovation. Discuss the whole project of the future, the interiors, how the designer's view coincide with yours or they do not coincide. Touch the stages of drawing up and design project and the total cost of work, the size, the order of payments, additional cost, and anything you want to talk about. Ask the candidate to bring a portfolio and pictures of completed projects in their favorite style, and ask them to get real photos. Compare the resulting interiors with the previous sketches. So what I'm saying is, for every designer, compare their 3Ds with their real images, and look at their drawings and their visualizations. Once again, to be convinced to the professionalism of the designer, the designer should not be superfluous. Be prepared for questions from the designer about your performance, favorite color combinations, lifestyle habits, and other factors. Talk to the designer about why the project ended up being implemented this way and not otherwise. To what extent did it meet the customer's expectation in the end? Why did the project come out exactly like this if it is different from the initial project? And listen to what the designer has to say, and most importantly, how. This will say a lot about whether the person is adequate, whether he or she can be trusted. Have you communicated with the previous customer? How well have they communicated? How the renovation went by. Accordingly, you will be able to predict the same for yourself. Fill the impressions form and a personal meeting with the designer in comparison to the other meetings. This will actually help you further narrow down to a circle of applicants until there is just one single designer or a studio. Ninth, I would like to put it like alternate airfield. Your task is to find the only designer with whom you are pleasant and comfortable working. But I definitely advise that you have more than one, just in case, in reserve. You bifurcate on two, you just narrow down on two, and out of which one you choose, one you keep it as a backend. In case the first stage of working with the first designer sometime seriously breaks in your relationship and you break up, you do not have to start the whole process from the beginning. So you already have two candidates, the best and the second best. 10th, very, very important point. Make a relationship with a designer, sign a contract, pay in advance, go to the interiors of your dreams. The most important thing to read the contract carefully, especially regarding the order of work, payment terms, composition of project. Most of the problems between a designer and the clients happen not from the malicious intent of one of the parties, but primarily because of understanding and unjustified expectations. Discuss the entire process with the designer again so that you and he can understand how the work will take place. Feel free to ask questions. The designer works on projects and takes many things for granted. And it is very, very important for you to clearly understand what to expect from their work. It has to be a balanced approach. Don't over expect, write down everything, and also deliver the payments on time. And finally, I think make an advance payment from the amount agreed with the designer. You have a crucial stage behind you, but ahead in an interesting, difficult process has still to come. So good luck for making your design homes, restaurants and hotels. For any kind of design consultancy, you can contact us at www.ansainteriors.com. Don't forget to ring the bell button if you have liked this video, subscribe to our channel, and see you next Wednesday. Bye.